partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny De Lillo, and we're here at the Los Angeles showroom in West Hollywood, and I'm here with the fantastically talented Burton Family with their movie, Old Guy. Let's take a look at the clip.
You're looking a little healthy there. Try and look sicker. That's better.
Hi, hon.
Hey! Guess who got his first audition?
What's the part? Is it a wealthy old banker who rules the town with an iron fist? Or a playboy / archaeologist who lives fast and loves faster? Or a crusty old professor who needs to take a class himself in kindness?
See for yourself.
Old Guy.
Wow, I'm so excited to have you here, and congratulations on your film, Old Guy. I don't quite know who to direct this to first, but tell us a brief synopsis of your film.
Well, Old Guy is a lighthearted look at ageism in the media. It centers on Harry Carter, who goes back to acting later in life, and each segment is divided into 3 pieces. One with his wife, a long-term marriage. They have a very interesting, complex relationship, grandchildren, many things they're doing with their time, and then one part is with his agent, played by Perry Gilpin. Oh, yeah. And she obviously wants him to work. And then one segment where he's doing a job that he got at that time. And most of those jobs are a very narrow idea of what being older is. And the old guy is played by Roger Burton, our father.
Your father, I know. You guys are such an incredibly talented family, and I absolutely loved your film, and I just want to watch the whole series tonight. I really do. And it must be such an incredible experience to work together, and you must be extremely proud of all of your daughters.
Certainly am.
And you played an absolutely brilliant role that I was literally laughing out loud at all your comedic moments. Where was your kind of inspiration for actually making this as a series together?
Well, the inspiration came because Dad had been doing jobs here in Los Angeles, his 3rd career. He was a musician and then a psychology professor for a very long life career, and then retired, and coming out to Los Angeles, we'd put him in some of our films. Other people were putting him in films. He got an agent, and he just started working all the time.
Wow.
He's done practically every TV show, 4 times on Leno, lots of commercials, but every but every part was called Old Guy. And our mother said, this is ridiculous. They're funny roles, but the stereotype that's perpetuated in the media. And Jennifer, why don't you talk a little more about that?
There's only 1.5% of people over 65 on television versus 7% of characters, and there's 17% in the population, right? And you know, today people are living very full lives and complicated lives much older, right? So the fact that these parts, there's so few of them, and they often are comic bits that are sort of thrown in, and the developed characters are the younger characters, right? So we were thinking, well, why don't we try to sort of play with this in a way? So it's a comedy, but it brings up this issue, and the larger issue is really about inclusion. So if you think about this on all levels, that, for example, women in film, you know, for every speaking part that's female, you have 3 speaking parts that are male on television. So this is something, and in crowd scenes even, where you have 17% of the people in crowd scenes are female. And it makes no sense. So there's more and more awareness of this, and that's the first step, I think, to try to have a more inclusive vision of the world. Is just to look and count and figure out who are we showing, because we want to send a message as a company. We want to make films where you see the world where half the people there are female and half are male, and that's just normal.
Yeah, I love that.
And it's not just about the numbers, it's about the role models.
Yeah.
Are people doing strong, interesting, varied things, not just one stereotype?
Yeah.
So back to Old Guy, it's the stereotype that is portrayed in the media. We wanted to point that out, but with humor, so that people, it's a way to get a message where people aren't feeling like they're being preached to.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's also an interesting thing in filmmaking where if people have a chance to think about something beyond maybe what they normally would make presumptions about, if they're entertained and feeling comfortable and something is sort of enjoyable, but kind of can push a little bit on the edges. And so that's something that we've done in our filmmaking, and we're sort of thinking about all the time as artists, is what could we do that is putting interesting imagery or thoughts out into the world, and at the same time while entertaining people. And it turns out that that's a very effective way, actually, of pushing the cultural conversation.
I have to speak to the star of the show.
Of course.
What is it? What? I mean, did this? They were all born, and then they were all like filmmakers. How did it happen? Like, how did it happen? You've got such a creative family.
I think that I was a musician, and I used to go out and play, and then my wife being a writer, I kept thinking that they would go into science, but well, actually, Jennifer did go to Harvard in math. She went to Harvard in
She has her
mathematics.
medical degree from Wikipedia.
No. That's true. That's true. They all call me for medical advice, and I say, call a doctor, a real doctor.
She's a PhD, so she is a doctor, but
not
she
that
keeps saying,
Got
I'm not a
got
medical
part
doctor.
in a play, and then that was it. They said, either you choose math, that's the only thing you can do, or if you want to do the play, go do the play. And so she chose the play.
Wow.
And ever since then, and then Maria left Yale, came right out to Sundance, I guess it was, and then from then on, she made her own movie here, Just Friends, a wonderful little romantic comedy, and in the middle of that, she needed help. Where
As
do you
one
get
always
cheap
does on
labor?
independent film.
The cheapest labor, her sisters. So
Keep it in the family.
brought them all in, and that became the Five Sisters Productions.
Just amazing, and you are really so incredible to watch on film as well. And so good. Thank you so much for being such inspiring filmmakers. I'm certainly inspired by you and the work that you do and the things that you're achieving in your work as well. Do you have any piece of advice that you would have to any filmmakers, maybe female filmmakers that want to follow in your footsteps? Do you have anything that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, I mean, it's an incredible time, really, to be a filmmaker now, because you have the ability to create content yourself at a much more economical level because of having the cameras and having the ability. When we started out on 35mm, and so it was much more difficult in terms of we couldn't operate the cameras ourselves or take over in the same way that you can now. And I think that one really good thing people can do is hone their vision and then find a mentor who can help bring them to the next level. You don't want to always be working for free. That's something that often happens with women, is that it's like, make a small movie and then make a documentary that you can do on your own. But people need to be professionals in the field, right? So making that jump is a really difficult thing. So I think the first thing, for example, we work, I teach filmmaking, and for my students, we had an amazing, wonderful student, Lysan Ho, who I brought on board to edit Old Guy with us. And then she was so great, and she really worked hard and became a great editor. And then Maria hired her on a sort of homecoming. And now she's actually working on a television series with someone else.
Too busy and unavailable.
I mean, that's the problem.
But
That's the problem.
You've got a keen eye for Academy Award winners anyway, haven't you? So.
Right, but you need to sort of develop those skills and get them out there, get them to organizations that can help you, find mentors that can help you. Because
it is great that the organizations exist now, like Alliance of Women Directors, Women in Motion Pictures, WIMPs, Film Fatales.
Women in Film.
There's such a community, and I find from other women directors, there's such support because we all know what the challenges, and everyone really wants to help each other, and it's just, I think, a great time while the rest of the world is catching up on the challenges, that people are there to help each other.
Well, I really think that aside from being very talented filmmakers, you're also fantastic voices in the entertainment industry, and I really hope that your wise words also get spread as well as your films. And it's been a pleasure to be with the Burton family. I feel like so parental towards you. I don't know why I'm like, but you did a fantastic job, Old Guy. If you haven't seen it, it's such a laugh out loud film and so endearing. And thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on the things that you're doing.
Thank you so much. Gracious. Thank you for having me.